Hi, everybody. I just want to give you a quick notice about the video you're about to watch. It is a very important video to me, um, but be aware that it does get kind of glitchy and the audio gets glitchy as well. We're working on fixing that, so just be aware. It does get glitchy and it can get hard to watch, but it is a very important episode to me. So, without further ado, enjoy.
Hey guys, it's me, Robbie Rapole, and I'm about to tattoo the Chad's neck. And then we're going to have a story time as to why and all kinds of other things. Check it out. So, do you want to start out with what this tattoo is and what it's about?
Yeah. So the tattoo. I had two versions of things that I wanted to get, and we kind of figured this would be the better one. It's an R pod, which is a type of camper, and it's a camping scene. And the reason behind that is because my mom got really into camping. Got the R pod. They go out all the time. Like every weekend, they go camping somewhere, and they ride their bikes all over the place. The other idea that I had, which is a little bit funnier idea, was it was going to be a Letterman's jacket with like stuff dumping off of it and some stink lines, and I might still do that.
That sounds like a fun one that I kind of want to do anyway. So
that'll be like a thigh piece.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was going to say "just like your face." And the reasoning behind that is because for a while there in my high school years, no matter what you said to me, the response would always be just like your face. So like, oh, that's dirty over there, just like your face. Kind of, the stupid things high school kids would do.
I mean, I wouldn't just say high school kids. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty stupid still.
But we were in the airport in France, and we were going through the TSA, well, their version of TSA. And my mom goes, "You need to let me wash that. Jacket because it's got stuff jumping off of it and it smells." And I go, "Just like your face." And after I had said it, I realized what I had said. And I see the hand coming at me, and I'm booking it away from her in the middle of an international airport in France.
Yeah, I still think we should do that one. That would be a fun, weird, crazy musical one.
And I know that she'd like it and hate it at the same time.
Right. I mean, you can kind of imagine why.
Yeah.
I love that story, though. And if I didn't love the fire and the camper so much,
Yeah.
I just said, let's go with that for today. But I like this for today.
No, and it's one that my sister really wanted to see too.
Hell yeah.
She was opposed to the jacket with things jumping off of it. She's like, "I'm glad you went with that one." I go, "You realize I'm still getting the other one, right?"
Yeah.
But I know for those of you who have watched Robbie's previous videos, I know that he's mentioned it in a few of them. But
yeah, I've been given updates.
yeah, my mom lost her battle with COVID. She fought hard.
It's still so weird. It doesn't seem real, man.
But just going up into the ICU and seeing her really fucked me up. Because like looking at her, it's just like, fuck, that's not
you.
That's not you.
Yeah. Yeah, you're okay. This person isn't okay. What do you mean?
Yeah. And I'm gonna do my best. I know that you are very open about crying and everything. Me, I try to do that while I'm alone. I'm gonna try not to here, but it might not happen.
Well, yeah. I look at it like this. If it happens, it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know. I'm way open about crying. I try not to do it in weird spots that'll make people too uncomfortable. But you know, sometimes you just gotta fucking let a bitch rip. You know, like it's what it was. You know, I mean, you know, my dad passed, and you know, we did the one podcast.
Like the process and loss.
Yeah, and that was a little emotional for me at times. But you know, I don't see anything wrong with it. A good friend of mine once said, "Crying is like watering my soul to for me." So I try to stick with that. You know, I cried on fucking national television, so you know that shit kind of broke. You know what I'm saying? Like I really feel like that stigma broke for me after that. You know, I mean, it was like the second fucking episode we were on. So like,
and that whole what the fuck's his name? The Ridiculousness show.
Rob Dyrdek, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so that video, that's the one I get my palm tattooed. That one has been on YouTube for years, and it's also been on World's Dumbest. So like, dude, people have fucking seen me cry. So like, what's the reason of pretending I don't? Like, it just kind of makes me feel dumb if I pretend I don't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but not everybody's journey is as easy as that, I guess. Is, you know, it wasn't easy, but you know what I mean? Like, I was forced to deal with it.
Well, the reason behind why I tend to try not to do that in front of people is back in elementary school when I was in the height, like peak OCD and PTSD from the surgeries that I woke up hearing. I would burst out crying in class and get made fun of. And
right.
That wasn't like a one-day thing that happened all the time. I think over time I just became to the point where I'm like, can't do it.
Wrap some PTSD around that. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, dude, I mean, that's totally fucking normal. Like, bro, it's weird. When I'm sitting there with Donna and we're watching TV, like, if I start crying because of something that we're watching, dude, if I'm crying, you can guarantee she's crying. So, like, there's really no reason to have shame, but I do. I get this, like, weird, like, masculine shame.
No, I feel the same way I watch, especially Disney movies like Moana or Coco or fucking Frozen.
Moana. God damn you, Moana! You get me so good, dude. No, seriously, yeah. We were watching Harry Potter during the quarantine we were just taking, and fucking dude, when Dumbledore died, I couldn't fucking help it, man. Like, I cried my dick off, and it was weird. And Donna's like, "Oh, I love that you can get emotional during Harry Potter," because she loves Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Don't look at me, bitch." You know, like, I'm fine over here. Just mind your business now. Like, really, like, oh, don't look at me. And it's so stupid. And like, we had a little dialogue about it, which was cool. I love that I can always dialogue with these things with her, about these things with her, and it was just, it's weird, yeah. And so I totally get it. Even though I'm super open to it, I still get it.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the main subject.
Yeah, sorry.
We always do this. We go way off. But yeah, like the first day we were able to visit her, because we couldn't visit her when she was conscious, when she was in the regular room, and then when they finally changed the visiting rules, she was already unconscious.
Oh shit.
So we got, when we went to see her, at first I was like, "Do you want me to go first so that I can prep you?" She's like, "Yeah, that's a great idea." And then we get there and she's already on her way up there. I'm like, "You bitch." No, but I'm kidding. Just in case you watch this, I'm kidding. But
jealousy more than anything. Like,
yeah.
I wanted to go first.
But she came down, bawling her eyes out, and then I go up, and I was in more of a state of shock than anything. Like, this isn't my mom.
Right. Yeah, man.
I talked to the nurse a little bit, and she kind of gave me everything that's going on. Like, oh, you know, this, and her lungs, and her O2, and for a while there, I mean, even on the podcast I was on, it looked like she was on the up and up, right? As I talked about.
Dude.
But we weren't there seeing and her, we were just getting, nurses not wanting to hurt our feelings, not wanting to, you know.
Not wanting to be too grim and step out of
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. You're kind of like, fuck you, but you're like, oh, I get it.
Yeah. When we see her, I didn't cry. I did when I was in the room. I come back down and I tried to put on the brave face.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta stay strong for my sister, my grandma who was there, and we were just sitting there talking. And after a few times of visiting her, I was like, I don't know how you're being, so strong. It's like, it's just I like to try and process on my own.
Right.
Or if I had a therapist, I would tell my therapist, but I don't like to,
process out loud in front of people.
Yeah, and that's because of the reasons I just said.
Right.
But yeah, the day that it happened, me and my sister had talked, and things were getting better, they were getting worse. And we're like, okay, well, we'll tell them to leave in on Monday. If things were sometime, if things get worse, just give it till Monday to see if it gets better. And Sunday, the day before, my sister called me and she goes, "You need to come to the hospital." So we went, and the hole in her lung got bigger, and it just wasn't happening. The surgeon was like, "Yeah, I can go in and fix it, but at this point, it's just going to prolong her suffering." So we go up. Everybody had a chance to say their goodbyes. They're like, "Do you want to go up and say your goodbyes beforehand?" I'm like, "No, I'm going up there during, but I don't want to go there. I have to be up there twice. So I'm just going to go up there last time."
Yeah.
And everybody's there, and then my sister go up, and the whole time, like, I was afraid that I wasn't going to be able to cry.
Makes sense.
But we go up, we put on our gowns, and I use humor as a defense mechanism, so we're going to make her laugh. Because there's only two people in the room, me and my sister and the nurses that were there. And shout out to Haley, who works at the ICU over there. She was amazing. Ben,
Girl?
no, she's an older lady.
Oh, okay.
Not older lady, but older than me.
No, I meant like a small, little, tiny person, but yeah, younger. Yeah.
But no, she was great. She great bedside manner. She explained everything to us in layman's terms. She was very relative with us, and she was there whenever they devented. And I bawled my eyes out. Even Haley was holding her hand.
But dude, sometimes when we're dealing with my dad's at the life, there were some very special moments that you know.
Yeah, and quick, and I'm glad it was quick.
Yeah.
But just seeing her like that was awful. And you have like the natural noises that happen whenever you're an event taken out. And those are fucking scarred. The whole thing is just burned in my brain. It's like, I know I don't want to go there to see it, but I have to.
No, I understand.
Like, I couldn't make my sister do that alone.
No.
Or God forbid, with my grandma.
Right.
Because their relationship is broken.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's alright, man. Family is a weird thing, ain't it?
And like her brothers, my sister called them. Her brothers and her didn't have a good relationship at all. Like, I'm not gonna name drop because I don't want to slander anybody, but one of them, I have no other word but hate. I hate him. The other one, I disliked, but I respect more because he came and he said his goodbyes and it was emotional. They didn't get along, but they're family. But the other one, fuck the other one. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'll come to let me know when and where." Fucking didn't show up. And then posted on Facebook saying, "Oh, pray for my mom." Like, nothing about my mom. nothing about his sister.
That sucks, man.
He made it seem like it happened to my grandma, so people are calling like, oh, did something happen on the roof? He's like, no. But no, he can go fuck himself. His daughter had recently died, and we were close when we were kids, my cousin. But, you know, we grew apart, and they moved away, and we didn't talk. We talked a little bit maybe 2 years ago, talked about meeting up. You know, she was living back in Florida. She went off on her own path, and she passed away in a motorcycle accident. Even then, I messaged him, and I was like, I didn't like him at that point, but I still messaged him and said, you know, my condolences.
Right,
I'm sorry.
Things,
yeah. But no, he hasn't fucking reached out to us. His wife did, but fuck his wife. She kept trying to friend request us, and I messaged her like, you need to stop.
Now, why didn't you want to accept your friend request?
Because of what happened with her, the whole thing with my grandpa and how that all played out.
Yeah.
A lot of resentment there, and I don't want to talk to her. I would accept a message from him saying, you know, my condolences, not her.
Right.
I want nothing to do with her.
Yeah, dude, family is a weird thing, dude. Family is very weird. It is hard to navigate these waters.
But I'm sitting there, while she's in the hospital, before the event, I'm sitting there going through I have a box of old pictures from like Germany and stuff. And I'm flipping through them. I'm just looking through them, and I'm pretty stoic because it hasn't all sunk in yet what's going to happen.
Right.
And I'm still kind of in shock. But I'm just going through pictures, and Megan's on the couch behind me bawling her eyes out. And she's like, you know, I don't know how you're so strong. It's just how I process. And she's like, well, are you ever going to be able to talk to me about it? And like, I mean, yes, but what exactly do you want me to say? It's like, you don't know what to say.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm more than happy to talk to you about anything, but I don't know what to say about it.
That's usually when I just say what the fuck is feeling inside of me, and that's usually when it all comes out for me. But yeah, I mean, you don't know what to say in a situation where you don't even know how to feel.
Yeah. There's shit that happens. I'll go to the car loop to pick up Cora. That's when I would call her to talk to her.
Right. Yeah, because it hits you at different moments.
Yeah.
You don't really know how it's going to.
Like, I made top ramen the other day. We fucking lived off that shit when we first moved to Germany. Living in the barracks, we didn't have any money because they hadn't started their job, got their first paychecks or whatever. So we lived off top ramen. I broke it up and like, you used to eat this all the time.
It's weird the things, dude, like Cuban coffee. I smell that shit all the time. And my dad was all about Cuban coffee. I'll be in this tattoo room and I'll smell it.
Yeah.
So it's weird the things that, you know, remind you of the ones that I don't want.
But man, telling Cora that day, I was already broken. Mentally, it hadn't hit me yet, but not fully.
Right. Yeah, because it takes a minute.
And we had let Cora spend the night at her friend's house. Her friend had stayed the night with us the night prior, and then we let her stay the night at her friend's house. I was like, I want her to have fun before I throw this shit on her.
Right.
And we sat her down. We read this book called The Invisible String, which people recommend. It's about how, like, the people that you love, there's like an invisible string that connects you.
Okay.
And there's like one page that talks about people in heaven. But it's enough to like drive the point home.
Yeah.
But yeah, after the book, it was like, you know how Grandma was in the hospital and sick? Well, now she's in heaven.
That was a moment, huh?
Her face. Fucking broke.
You never want to, yeah. Love you, dude.
Oh, that was a hard day. But yeah, it was a real hard day. And then OCD had convinced me that like, what if you have COVID? What if you have COVID? You walk through the ICU,
Oh God.
and I had all this chest congestion. It was probably mental. And then, it was a few days later, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks. I don't know the timeline really, but
Yeah, timelines get fucked around these moments.
but I had gone and got tested. And then it came back negative, obviously. And we were in Five and Below, just shopping, doing nothing. Cora wanted to decorate her. She has a big Barbie dream house, and she wanted to decorate it all creepy for Halloween.
That's awesome.
So we're looking for all this creepy shit, and then in my head randomly, my OCD had detached itself from what if you have COVID? What if you have COVID? Because I got the negative test. You don't have COVID, and OCD is weird. Like it's floating around, and it's waiting to attach to something else.
It's just that miserable person that doesn't want to let you be happy.
Yeah. So we're shopping around, and I buy some Halloween stuff, and then in my head it went, oh, what if you're afraid to buy creepy stuff like you were that one time? And so it just started anew, and then that night I was getting anxiety and panicky, and I was like, I'm gonna go take a shower. And then walking to the shower, the whole panic attack happened. And my mind wouldn't stop. Like, with OCD, there's what if this, what if this, what if this? But usually I can, like, keep it at bay, practicing my ERP or whatever. I'm like, what if this? Okay, well, do it, and then no, see? No, you're fine. But when it's constant and it doesn't stop,
it's hard to get away from.
And then I couldn't think of anything else. It's like, and with the thing that I told you, like my new OCD thing had kicked in, and it's like hyper aware of every part of me. Like, oh, there's your arm, Like when you're like the example I gave you, when you become hyper aware of your tongue. Sorry for everybody listening that's hyper aware of your tongue now. Like the positioning in your mouth or whatever. But
yeah, it's funny because I can't not pay attention to it when you say that.
Yeah. But no, it's like with my arms or whatever. I'm like, oh, there's your arm. And then the OCD kicks in. What if you can't control it? It's an irrational thought that means nothing. And the compulsion for me was to do like patterns on my fingers, which I know I shouldn't do. But I would do that. Okay, you can do the pattern. Okay, you can control your hand. When the thing that you're supposed to do at that point is don't do the pattern. Sit with the anxiety that what if you can control your hand? Stop doing the pattern. Kind of stupid shit like that, but
you got to keep in mind too.
I'm also grieving.
Right, like you got to have grace with yourself because yes, you want to fucking be robotic about it, so you can not have that, but you're not. So beating yourself up over it doesn't really help anybody.
But I was like, the shower will help. The shower didn't fucking help at all.
Not at all. Like it didn't distract one bit.
No, because I'm in the shower by myself with my head. So I get out of the shower and I'm getting dressed, and I was just like, it's still happening. So in my head, I'm like, you need to pull Megan in here. You need some kind of help. So I pulled Megan in. I was like, I told her what was happening. I just need you to like sit with me. And she did. She like sat with me, rubbed my back, listened to me. And I called that we have an employee assistance program, and they have therapists and stuff. You can call and talk to them. I called, and it was late, but the answering service said, oh, I put the emergency message out. Somebody will call you soon. Nobody fucking called me. Like, I'm sitting there with my boss, like, you need to tell them that nobody called you, because what if you were in, like, super crisis?
Yeah, dude. Like, you were in a pretty heavy spot.
Yeah. But I had calmed myself down. Megan helped a lot. I'm still dealing with...
good spouses often do.
Yeah. And I mean, with panic attacks and my OCD, typically when I have a panic attack, it leads into like an OCD episode that lasts for a little while.
Okay.
But now that I know, what I'm supposed to do, even if I'm not great right now at doing it, I'm starting to. It's just hard to do.
Yeah.
But
New
yeah,
habits, right? New habits are really
Yeah.
tough to develop, especially the healthy ones. For some reason, the healthy ones are a lot fucking harder to develop and hold on to than the unhealthy ones.
like the harm OCD stuff will kick in, and because I've practiced that before, I'm very good at doing the exposures with that, and I've been keeping that at bay pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
But this whole hyper-awareism, OCD, weird, irrational thoughts kind of thing, it's harder to do the ERP with because like patterns is something that I've always done on my hands, and it's just trying to when I get the feeling I'm doing it, I'm doing it before I realize I'm doing it.
Right.
So I need to get better at like don't do it at all.
Once again, have grace with yourself a
Yeah.
little bit, because dude, I know exactly what you mean and how you mean it.
Yeah.
Because like when you're in your head, man, you're like, no, we're gonna be perfect at this.
Yeah. I mean, like even Ethan was like, because I told you earlier, he had posted something about a movie he was working on, and like have his OCD awareness, and I was like, yeah, I'm going through rough time myself now. I'm sure you've seen why. And like his comment back was like, you need to give yourself grace, but also don't let the OCD get to you. And it has, but I'm working on it.
It's hard to follow that advice, like
Yeah.
you want to and you're going to do your best, but sometimes it's just easier to fucking dude. When you have grief, it's so much easier to lay in bed a couple days sometimes. Like allow yourself to feel it, and then it's like you say with your OCDs. When you allow yourself to feel that, be immersed in that, then it dies down because it gets the attention it's looking for. You know? But you're doing it from my perspective. You're doing a great job. I know you don't think you are probably, but your kid's happy.
Yeah.
Every time I see your wife, she's still doing her best. She's fucking super happy. You would like if I didn't know what was going on, I wouldn't know there was anything going on. Like,
What's funny with that too is like I'll sit there and I'll tell her like my anxiety's high, and do the patterns, and she knows. Like she's talked to my therapist in Virginia, the one who taught me ERP, and she knows not to indulge me. But I'm sitting there like, I'm telling you, fucking indulge me. I want a response.
that's difficult. I'm sure, dude.
It's probably difficult for her too, because I'm sitting there like, I keep prodding for a response, even though I know that she's not supposed to give me one.
Please do what you're not supposed to, because I need this right now. It's like, well, I mean, it's kind of like if I'm having some drinks and I know I probably shouldn't because I've had a hard time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, she's probably not going to like me if I drink too much, so I better not drink too much. Like, but sometimes you just say, fuck it, and you throw caution to the wind, and you're like, I'm going to be whatever I want to be. Indulge.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that you refer to it as indulge, because, I mean, that's what it feels like.
But no, she's been great. She's my rocket. She always is.
That's amazing. Dude.
And that's even while she's still going through all this stuff with her stuff.
Yeah, dude. When we were, so just by happenstance, Megan, Chad's wife, works at the Walgreens like a minute from my house. So we've been going to get COVID tests to try and clear up our COVIDity. And so she gave us 2 negatives and then finally a positive. And it was nice to get that positive test. But yeah, like I've said,
it was nice to get the positive.
I mean the negative test.
You have to take that reverse. Yeah. 2 negatives and 2 positives and a negative.
Yeah. Sorry. It's weird when I'm tattooing and I'm doing these interviews. My brain is trying to do a couple things. But and I'm stoned too. So, which taking a break from smoking during COVID really made my throat feel a lot better, and now the effects are a little bit funny. Anyway, back to where we were. Every time I saw her, she was just like going through her own shit, like a lot between your mom and then her own stuff with the surgery. Like she's still just sweet, happy, lovely Megan. Big smiles, positive kind, loving, encouraging things to say.
And it's like the crazy thing about like the universe in itself. Like that night that I had my panic attack and the therapist people didn't call me back.
Mm-hmm.
After I had calmed myself down, my buddy that I've talked to maybe twice in 10 years, who knew it was happening, randomly was like, I should probably call Chad. So he called me.
No shit. The universe is a beautiful thing.
But yeah, just reminiscing with my sister. I mean, it brought us closer together. We were always close growing up. We always had fun. And just reminiscing about like the stupid shit that we used to do. Like I taught her how to pretend to trip and fall and make it look real. And like talking about how we used to embarrass my mom at the mall and stores.
That's fucking great.
Like we would be in the mall and I would say, do it now, and she would trip and make it look like my mom pushed her into a garbage can.
Oh, that's fucking killer.
I mean, the PC culture now, it's different than it was before, but I used to be like, okay, go up there, go up and embarrass her at the cash register. She'd be ringing up somewhere, and my sister would run up to her like, why don't you love me? just acting like that, and just my mom, oh, I don't know you.
Leave me alone, child.
Yeah. I went to the airport one time, and like it was me, her, and my mom, and there's this guy who was looking, staring at like the departures board, being very confused, and you could tell he was frustrated. And my sister just walks up next to him, stands, crosses her arms, and looks and just stares. And then she goes, "You know what? I don't see it either." He's like, "Well, you looking for a departing flight?" She goes, "No." He popped her upside the back of the head. It's like, I can't even be mad at you. She just totally deserved that.
That's wonderful. Yeah, playing with my mom was always fun. Fucking with him, you know, making him embarrassed in public. It's always fun to talk about that shit with your siblings too. It's cool that it got to like bring you guys closer.
No. And it's good that we're in agreement on pretty much everything that's happening, right? Like, you know, the stuff that happens after this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into details because there's everything that's happening, but we're in agreement on everything.
That's cool. I'm glad that you were able to reach agreement. Yeah, we didn't have any discord about stuff and things after my dad passed. It all went really easy.
Yeah. I mean, it all happened super fast. I mean, there was no will, so we were having to go through probate and all that.
Right.
But she's like, as long as you guys agree on everything, it should go super fast. We were in agreement on everything.
That's cool. So Megan came in the room. Hi, Megan.
Hi.
We were just talking about you a minute ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, the good thing is we all know this too shall pass.
Yeah.
Bad thing is it's really annoying waiting for shit to pass.
Only thing that helps is time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, fucking Cora found a pillow my mom gave to her last night, and it hit her pretty hard.
Yeah.
So this is my favorite pillow now. I miss Grandma. I miss her too.
Well, you know, it's cool that she had such fond memories of your mom too, like, because you know, not all families are together in that sense. So.
And she's old enough to remember her.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. She'll have these memories forever.
Fucking, the day that we devented, one of my family members was like, "You're into that paranormal stuff. You'll talk to her again." It's like, that's not at all what I want to hear right now.
Right? Oh, yeah.
Like, I appreciate the thought, but it's not what you say to somebody who does this.
You know, and that's one of those things.
People don't know what to say.
No, they don't. And like Donna's mom fucking sent me a meme of a baby with a missing leg. I was like, I can't wait for you and Donna to have babies. I'm like, babe, you know your mom isn't fucking cute, right? And then next time Donna talks to her on the phone and I'm sitting there, she's like, Robbie doesn't fucking like you because you said amputee shit. It's not fucking funny, Mom. You're being stupid. Oh, shit.
Where's she?
Philly.
Oh.
Donna's family's all in Philly, yeah.
I think she meant where's Donna.
Oh, Donna is at home.
Like, why is Donna in Philly?
Right?
Yeah, no. She's at home. We didn't really have work scheduled today, so I just came in because I wanted to tattoo Chad.
Because you love him.
Yes. Like I said, I have the time. And when I have the time, I want to give it to people I love. Yeah, I just want, I mean, we're kind of embracing in a really, like, friendly hug, you know? Yeah.
I love it.
It's like a man cuddle. Nobody's got to feel weird about it.
Well, you're like one of his favorite people, so.
He's like one of my favorite people, so.
Aw, he's my favorite.
Hey, all this love.
And dude, I've been having sinus pressure for like the last 2 weeks because of all the pollen and shit, and that just it always makes my OCD worse because it compounds with the PTSD that I had from the sinus surgeries.
Right.
That just makes everything worse.
So you're like, fuck!
Yeah, I'm like fuck my brain.
Yeah, dude. After having the insight that I had into your brain, fuck. Yeah. It's like, it sounds like it's like a water faucet that you can't shut off.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
I just gotta break out that toolkit and fix it, but it takes time.
That's the cool thing though, like, cause that's your, like, even in the grieving stage, like, that's your thought process. Okay, well, we'll get the toolkit out and fix it. You know, like, we're not gonna sit here in the misery of it. It sucks, but, like, if we have to sit in the misery, we'll do that for a little bit, but we gotta get to work at some point.
Yeah.
And I think that's fucking really admirable, dude, because it's not easy to keep moving on through hard shit, as you know. So kudos to you.
And video games personally, they help me too. Especially like the people that I play with too.
Right, yeah, because it's like just hanging out with your friends
Yeah.
and playing a really fun video game.
And my buddy Nasty that I play with, he lost his mom too, so he can relate on some level.
Right. Yeah, well, when I was losing my leg, fucking talking to dudes who had lost their leg helped me out a lot. You know, like, feeling like you're not alone helps you out a ton.
So I actually sent somebody your way, like, a week ago.
Yes.
I don't know if he ever contacted you or not, but I sent him, I gave him your card. He had just, like, lost his leg.
Oh, no shit.
And he, I guess, like, they took part of it off, and then, like, it got infected, so they had to take it out all the way above the knee, I guess. And I gave him your card because I was thinking of a vaccine. So we were talking for a while. So I was calling up how awesome you are and stuff, and how that you were very inspirational, and that if you ever had any questions, I'm sure you'd be happy to answer them for him.
I am super glad you had him take my info. Yeah, he hasn't reached out on any social media yet, but you never know. I mean, he might reach out through the front desk to book an appointment or something. Yeah, because
Because like you said, like people like to know that they're not alone.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's nice to know. Like, it's wild. I ran into a dude that he is married to somebody that I was related to due to one of my brother's prior marriages, and he was walking around in Publix all happy and mellow. Like, when I met him, his leg was in a bad fucking place from a motorcycle accident, and like, I guess he had bent the rod that they put in there and shit. So
Cool.
things were not cool. So, you know, he wasn't into having his leg amputated. So I sent him to my orthopedic surgeon in Orlando, and I love that dude. Fucking, if you're watching this and you need a sick orthopedic surgeon, fucking Dr. Joshua Langford at Orlando Health is amazing. Like, that guy is slick. He reached out to me a couple months ago and, like, on Instagram and just told me, like, hey, you did a good job making that decision. You're doing great. Anyway, so I referred him to this guy, and and he like went in there and fucking took out the old rod, put a bigger rod in, like took a bunch of the hardware out and like put what needed to be there instead of a whole bunch of shit that wasn't supposed to be there. So it's really cool when I'm somebody's like, you know, leg helper, you know.
Well, it's just like when I talk to people at work, like when they're picking up like driver's events and they're like, oh, this is so
Right.
expensive, and I'm like, yeah, I completely understand. I don't have that either. You know, I have to. I spend money on my drugs every month, just like you.
Yeah.
It's nice to know that you're not the only one.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know that rings true over and over and time again. And every couple years, I think I get reminded of it a little bit more in case I forgot.
Yeah, I wish we had an OCD support group down here. Like when I came down, I was trying to start one, but then COVID happened.
Well, COVID was already starting.
Yeah. I'm hoping that like after meeting with my therapist on next month, I can maybe get the ball rolling on that again.
Yeah, man, therapy is a fucking beautiful thing. Talking about things, like the power of words. One of my favorite people, and he's a spiritual guru, somebody that I just look up to a whole lot. He's always got the right things to say to me when I'm going through some shit. We were at a convention together recently, and he was like, yeah, words are magic. That's why it's called spelling. And I was like, ooh! But it's like really true, man. Like, there is a lot of magic in words, you know? Like, you can make people feel great or terrible, all with how you choose to speak at them. So yeah, words are fun. Knowing you're not alone, that's really nice. Getting a tattoo on your neck, that's
It's not
so nice.
It's not as bad as the sternum.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. And you know me, I'm probably going to want to throw another session on this too, just because, you know, healing and layering and strengthening a piece.
Yeah. No, I fucking hated my sternum.
Dude, I didn't realize it. You were pretty mellow throughout it. What did we chunk out? Like 2 hours the other day? 3 hours?
Something like that.
How long did we work on your chest last time, Megan?
Like
4.
5 hours.
Oh, really?
That was a long time.
No wonder why we had so much done.
Well, you are magical on top of that, so.
Well, hey. I just think I'm efficient, and that makes me fast. But you can call it magical. I like being called magical. You know, me and Donna first started dating. She always used to call me perfect. And I'd be like, I was real cynical when we started dating. I was like, don't fucking call me perfect. I'm not fucking perfect. I'm a piece of shit. So now, like, after years of, like, her conditioning, I'm, like, learning how to be, like, told nice things. So I'll take magical.
But yeah, like you saw the meme that I posted not too long ago, like the Simpsons thing, where on like he's holding back all of his fat or something behind his back.
Yes, yes.
Oh, I'm fine. Like friends, family, how are you? And then oh, I'm fine. And I'm great. And then like what he's holding back is like anxiety, suicidal fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
I had seen that multiple times, and that's why I shared it. And I was like, I've seen this a lot recently, and it's not how it needs to be.
No, but it's how we're programmed.
Yeah, it's like so that's why I posted what I was going through and like mentally where I was. It's like so people can see that look, you can open up. And one of my coworkers was like, you know, you're gonna help a lot of people with that post. I was like, that's kind of why I did it. A, to vent, and B, to help people realize, look, you can open up to people.
Yeah. Dude, the rap movement fucking, you remember when like, I started like putting videos together and like putting it out on the social media. You know, it was hard to do it, but like part of my fucking need to do it and pull to do it is because I knew it was going to be beneficial to me to say the things and hear them and like hold myself accountable. And then like people started telling me, hey, you're helping me. And I'm like, wow, what do you mean?
Like I actually had a comment on that post from a friend that I haven't talked to in a while saying, I realize that I'm somebody who bottles things up and I'm trying to get better about it. Thanks for being an inspiration. And it's like, okay.
Dude, that's fucking beautiful, man. And it's always nice to hear it because it makes you be like, oh wow, I guess I am doing good. Because I thought I was doing pretty bad.
Yeah.
Well, there's always somebody that's doing worse than you.
No.
Mhm.
It's unfortunate, but like,
It's true.
And
whatever shitty situation that you're in, there's always somebody who has it worse than you. So you just have to think about that. Not that you want other people to be worse than you, but the fact that they are.
Right, like, just deal with what you've got because it could be worse. Be happy with where you are.
I mean, part of being an advocate for anything, especially like mental health and OCD, it's you share what you're going through with everyone so that get a better idea of it, more aware of it, and then maybe they themselves get better with the idea of opening up about it if they're going through it.
Right, absolutely. Dude, I had a guy recently hit me up and let me know that he thanks me for helping him learn how to cry and like let it out. And I'm like, fuck, man. Here I am with my own insecurities and worries. I'm like, what a pussy I look like. And I got dudes being like, wow, this dude's he's doing something smart. And like even initially when you said like, how like I'm good with being able to cry, like I initially felt like, ew, I'm such a fucking pussy. Like, but it's just weird. You're not. And then the funny thing is, when you cry in front of the people you love, they typically react way different than you fear they're going to.
Yeah. Like before Megan walked in.
Right, yeah, dude, like, that's a moment I'm gonna fucking cherish, bro. Like, another one of my, like, spiritual man mentor dudes, man, we would go to breakfast, every week, and I would there was something about this man that he can just, like, he can handle all of my shit, and he was willing to, like, house it all. And we had one morning, I fucking cried, and he cried, and he actually wrote a post on social media later on that day, and it said something like, tears shared with a friend is a holy moment. And, like, I was like, damn, dog, I feel you on that. Like, yeah, it was wild. It's always nice when those moments happen. So thanks for letting me be a part of your healing, man.
Yeah. I knew this would help, and I don't know, in my head I pictured pretty much exactly this.
You getting tattooed and having some emotions.
And the whole thing that you put together, too.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because they used to, they went camping, every weekend.
I'm glad, that I was able to pull that out of your brain then, or get on the right wavelength and sync up with your brain.
Yeah.
Oh, we're like girls, our periods synced up.
What's really shitty though is like Chad gave the hospital.
I told him about that, but I didn't say anything in here yet.
Oh.
I had when my grandpa passed, I got some of his jackets, and I dropped one of them off at the hospital when, just as she went to the ICU.
Oh yeah, you were just telling me earlier, yeah.
And I dropped off his U.S. Navy jacket to the hospital, and I was like, can you put this in the room with her? Just let it be there. It's, in my head, it's like he's there with her, kind of thing.
Right, yeah.
And it's fucking lost now.
So, you want to talk about sentimental things being lost? I'm not trying to play a whose story is better. It just reminded me of my friend who tattooed my real right foot in real life. Mm-hmm. He never got to finish the tattoo because we lost the foot.
Yeah.
So he bought a plastic foot, like a tattooable one, and he tattooed what was supposed to be on my foot, on this foot, sent it in the mail, and he had sent it with some t-shirts. And I was like, oh, dude, the t-shirts are sick. He's like, well, how's the foot? I'm like, what foot? Somebody in transit stole my fucking foot.
People fucking
Like, it was in the same box?
It was in like a mailer envelope. So a couple t-shirts with a foot shoved between it, and then fucking closed up. Or it might have been a box. I don't remember. All I remember is it was taped back up like somebody had opened it, and my foot wasn't in there. Dude, I fucking cried about that shit. I was heartbroken. I was like, dude, I fucking lost my foot once, and now my homie fucking gives me a foot, and I lose that one too. Like, fuck. Yeah, it was weird. So I hate it when things like that happen, and that's like one of those, like, you're supposed to love all sides, and whatever arises, love that. Like, how am I supposed to love the moment that teaches me how to deal with losing a foot that a homie made for me? Right. You know, like, I know there's a lesson wrapped up in that somewhere, but fuck, I don't want to learn that right now. I just want my fucking foot that my homie made. Just like you wanted your mom to have the jacket. Like, you know, like, and you would have liked to have the jacket back. And it's just, yeah. It's a shame that sometimes people do bad things or poor things or subpar things.
Yeah. A bunch of shit was missing. Like all that was left was like the box or the bag of books and activity books that she had asked me to bring her. But I don't even think she had a chance to use any of them. Because I dropped them off, and then like the next day she was in the ICU.
Oh man. But like trivial stuff like that was missing.
Yeah, no, like trivial stuff like that I got. The shit that I wanted back was missing.
That sucks.
Yeah, and I made her a bracelet. It was a small agate bracelet. That took her real lung health. And I had gotten her like one of the little.
It was a charm. There was an Arpod on it.
Yeah. And it was like a little thing on it, and that was gone too, of course. And like we had dropped that off like more recently. Wasn't like any of the things.
Dude, that's lame.
And it's like they had the hospital, like the room number and everything. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll send it up. And then who knows if you even fucking got there.
Well, that's the hard thing, because, you know, there's so many people that work in hospitals, and sometimes you get a great experience, like you did with Haley, and then sometimes you don't. But, you know, it is what it is, right? That's how the cookie crumbles, so to speak.
And, like, everybody, like, going back sort of to, like, the after everything happened. I got so many texts from people saying, like, you know, I appreciate all the messages. I do. But, like, at a certain point, I'm just copying, pasting, thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's hard at that moment. Because you're like, I appreciate the sentiment, but I am not functioning right now.
Yeah. So just copy, paste.
I'm really glad that Chad and I had that time together afterwards, though. Like, or even during, like, I'd been off of work for, like, a week and a half. Like, and I got to be with him, and it was really, I mean, it wasn't a great time, but I'm glad I got to share that.
It's healing.
Yeah.
It's good to be with your mate when they're healing, and you're one of their, like, medicines, you know? Like, Donna helps me heal a lot of fucking crazy brain stuff, so I get it.
And she was my mom, too. Like Chad and I have been together for 10 years.
Right. Yeah,
we
so...
definitely had our ups and downs, but...
I mean, so did me and her. We had our ups and downs, but, I mean, our downs were mostly when we lived together. We have very different personalities, and they clash. But when we don't live together, we're fine.
Right. Like, me and my mom have had ups and downs, and now we don't really have much downs anymore. We really very much understand each other over years of learning how to communicate.
Yeah, and that's where that's where we had gotten.
And dude, I'm 40. It took me a while to fucking get there, you know?
Yeah.
Like the other day, she called me and she was pressing me about something. I'm like, Ma, I can't fucking do this right now. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm sorry. And she's like, no, it's okay. And like, that was really cool. Like, yeah, I lost my cool, but she understood she was pushing me. And I was like, fuck, I told you not to push me, man. And she's like, I'm sorry, I understand. But I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm a jerk, I didn't mean it. And it's really nice to have that. So I'm glad you got to experience that, you know? Like, you guys had a great relationship. Cora had a great relationship.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You guys do have good memories and that invisible string, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I like that you use that term because that's what the book I got for us.
That's why he
that's
brought
what
it
he
up.
said, yeah. And, like, it makes so much sense. I've not read the book, but I get it. You know what I'm saying?
I had a few friends tell me about it, and like even though it didn't mention a lot about death, but it put things
It
together.
it instills the idea without delving too much into it, and it's a kid's book, so I get it.
Right. Yeah, it seems like it's kind of like, hey, you know, this person and you are always going to be connected because you love each other. And sometimes people don't get to be together anymore. It sounds like a great premise.
Yeah.
I feel like Cora's gotten a little like religious about it.
Okay.
Like we never talk about God or anything in our house, and she talks about God, and like she has this cross that Chad's dad gave her, and like she talks about it a lot, and she knows that Tina's watching her, and that she's in heaven.
Well, I mean, she asks me about it too, I mean, pretty often. She's like, do you think God created us? Like, honey, whatever you want to believe is, you know, that's
what you get to believe, yeah.
That's you. I'm not going to tell you yes or no. That's whatever you want to believe. And me personally, I'm more agnostic than anything. Like, sure, I believe that maybe there's something up there. I don't think it's the traditional version of God who sits on a cloud and tells, you know. I think there's some kind of higher power. I don't think that it's necessarily what people think God is.
I think you and I have a very similar belief pattern. And for years I didn't even know what that was called. And then a couple years ago, like, I Googled it and I was like, oh yeah, I think I'm agnostic.
Yeah.
Like, because I grew up Christian. And, you know, I like the Christian morals because they're just be a good person, don't be a shitbag. But, like, I don't like the Christian church, so to speak, all the time because it's people fucking shit up.
It's people being people.
Yeah. Like, I just don't believe in such strictness.
Yeah.
You know?
We went to church all the time when I was a kid, and I just never bought into it.
I tried, man.
I mean, I did for a little while, and then eventually I was like, I don't buy into this.
When they started, like, calling me and my brother out because we looked different than everybody else, because we had, like, colored hair, and, like, I had a mohawk and shit. Like, and I had piercings and stuff, so, like, it wasn't as cool back then to be this way, so
Yeah.
getting made an example of felt fucking weird when you're at church, you know? Like, you're not supposed to say things like that, I'm 14 and I'm insecure. You know, like, I get your point, but it kind of sucks that I was the guy who used it. Thanks, dude.
Another funny thing that happened, like, we went to a reptile show. It's you can buy like spiders and snakes and all the turtles and shit. And I bought a camel spider because I've always been intrigued by camel spiders.
Mm-hmm.
And I sent a picture to my sister and I was like, I bought a camel spider to cheer myself up. And she's like, we are very different people.
Yep. Retail therapy is a real thing, bitch. Just because I don't buy the same shit you buy, don't mean it ain't real.
And then I go, I named it Tina. That was my mom's name.
Hell yeah.
And I go, you know she'd be like, she'd think it was funny but still be pissed at the same time.
Yep.
Kind of like that Letterman jacket that I want to do. She'd think it'd be funny and then get pissed at the same time. Like I randomly remembered, like, when we moved to Virginia, she was helping us move into the house, and her and her boyfriend at the time were sitting on the porch, and we had waters, and the neighbors that we hadn't met, that we met eventually, were outside and watching. And hold on,
Was that rough on the neck there?
I don't want to talk and have it mess up.
Oh no, you're fine.
Okay. Have you ever seen that trick where you're like, oh, there's a fly in my water bottle, and you squeeze it?
Oh yeah.
So I was like, I played it off pretty well, and I was like, hey, there's a fly in this spot. She looked into it. And I squeezed it real hard, and she got soaked. The neighbors all laughed.
Sounds like she had a good sense of humor about shit too.
Yeah.
I like that you can do editing.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, yeah, I'm not trying to talk right now. I'm doing something.
Yeah, I don't want to talk right now either because my throat getting.
Right. Actually, do you think we're at a good spot to wrap it up?
Yeah, I think that'd be good. I think we have enough. That's like what, 45 minutes an hour.
At least, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we fucking. What's that?
I'm hungry.
I think he meant wrap the episode, not this.
All right, so
I know. I was saying I'm hungry because I know that I can't eat.
Mm.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
So hey guys, we're gonna wrap it up now because we're tattooing his neck, and I feel like we've gotten a good point across, and I feel like we had a really good time together today, man. So thank you guys for watching. As always, like, share, subscribe, please. We're rad, and so are you. Yeah, till next time. Have a great fucking day.